Cutting a straight line isn't about a steady hand, it's about setting up your cut right. Here's how. A tried and true method a lot of people use, maybe you're doing some framing and it's not for finish, you can always just use a straight edge or a chalk line to make a straight line and then cut on that line. So like this, taking my chalk line, I'm cutting on an angle because I want to cut out this garbage out of this wavy line. You can probably really see how far out of whack that is. And then you can use any kind of colored chalk, doesn't matter, white, blue. Since my chalk line didn't transfer, I'm just gonna transfer this line all the way to the end so I can really get a good idea of where I need to bite into the board when I cut. So on this saw, you'll see a couple V-notches in the plate. So there's one at 0 degrees and one at 45 degrees. So at 0 degrees, that's the lane that your blade is traveling in right here. These points of this blade are traveling in this V-notch. So I'm gonna line it up like this, okay? And I'm gonna follow this. I'm not gonna look at my blade. What I found over the years of cutting is that I can usually get just an accurate or more accurate cut if I follow this groove once I know how it cuts versus following the blade. But I'm also gonna take the blade and I'm gonna line it up to this finished line, because since I didn't have this line finished, if I wouldn't have drew this out, I wouldn't know where to start my plunge at the end of the board. Now I do. I can clearly see where I'm supposed to start and I can clearly see which way I'm headed. So now I got the saw at the right angle. So here we go. While I'm making this cut, I can see I'm following the V-notch, but I'm taking the entire line of blue with it. And that's okay to do as long as you don't cut the board too short. If you're gonna have a problem with that, then I would consider cutting a little bit to the right of the blue line, or chalk your line a little long so that you don't undercut the board. So this line is a lot more straight than the other one that you saw earlier. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. All right, now check this out. So what I did is I made this cut a little fat so you could see the line that I drew. I drew a straight line with this straight edge, and then I clamped it 1.5 inches or whatever the distance of the saw is to the blade away, and then I went ahead and made the cut. This is a different way to technically make a track saw without having a track saw. You need a couple clamps and a straight edge, and you can make really nice cuts as long as you're able to clamp your piece to the work surface. So what I did was I calculated the distance by measuring the blade distance to the fence. So I measured out 1.5 inches from my straight edge to the line I wanted to cut, and then I left it a little bit longer so that you guys could see how straight this line was in relation to my straight edge. You don't have to use an expensive Stabila level to do this. You can use a piece of lumber, a piece of metal, anything that's nice and straight and rigid that you can run a saw against, and run this flat side of this saw up against this to make a straight cut. And speaking of Stabila, you're not gonna believe this. I ran a perfectly level ledger across a 60-foot span, and I never saw the line once. I've trusted Stabila for years, but when I paired this LAX 500G with this receiver, it's a game changer for outdoor builds. Full sun, 60 feet out, I couldn't see the beam at all, but the RL230 receiver locked on instantly. It beeps when I'm high, beeps when I'm low, and goes solid when I'm dead on. Plus or minus 1 millimeter accurate, every post, every joist, done before lunch. Stop squinting and start building. Now let me show you how to make a really straight cut as fast as possible. This is called a track saw. And a track saw is a cool tool, and it's designed to do one thing really good, and that's make really straight cuts. You're gonna spend some money on this tool, but I found over the years of using it that it's the most accurate way to make a straight cut, because your saw is running on a rail. There are grooves in the bottom of this saw that lock into this groove right here, and it is the best way to make a super straight cut. It's a plunge type saw, so it plunges down into the material and then you just go. Now you don't have to plunge, you can start on the very end, but you have the option to as well. I'm gonna show you how straight this cut is, all right? Let's go. Now that's a straight cut. So when you're using a track saw, the first time you use it, these rubber ends are wider. As soon as you run your track saw through it, the blade actually makes a cut into this rubber. That becomes your reference line. So wherever you put that rubber on the workpiece, that's where your saw is gonna cut. So that's how you lay this out. Now there's rubber on the bottom of this track, so it can slide, but usually once you're putting some downward pressure on this track, it's not gonna move around too much. It actually has a little bit of rubbery give to it, which helps stick down to most surfaces. We primarily use this track saw. We have a 9-foot, 2 5-foot, a 2-foot, and a 3-foot track for long and short instances. There's other products out there, but this happens to be the one that I use and I prefer when I'm making my straight end grain cuts on my decks. Some things you should think about while you're making these cuts is how fast do I need to make the cut? Well, that kind of depends on the type of blade you're using on the saw. I'm using a 24 tooth, it's very coarse. It's a ripping blade, which is designed to get through materials quicker. When you're doing a rip, you're gonna need less teeth to get through the material. The more teeth you have, the harder it is to make the rip, and it could bind more because you're creating more friction in between the cut and the board. So something to consider, if you're doing cross cuts where you're cutting across the grain this way, then you might consider more teeth because you might not want chipping or splintering to happen while you're making the cut. I always let the saw determine my speed. I always listen to how fast the saw is cutting through the material, and once I'm happy with the RPMs, I'll just keep trying to go at that pace. If we push too hard, we can slow down the saw and bind the blade or burn it. So if you let the saw do the work, it's gonna be an easier cut. So a quick recap, we used a string line and made a cut, kind of straight. We used a clamp-on straight edge, which is pretty straight, but took more time. And then we used a track saw, which was fast and very straight. So between those three, my choice is always gonna be the track saw whenever possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day.